I have an announcement. Drum roll, please. Drum roll. Drum. Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to 7 a.m. John Henry Soto here. It is 7 a.m. My name is John, and it is the 21st of June in the year 2021. And been trying to make this announcement for a while now. We've been waiting on a couple of logistical things. And you know me, I like to be dramatic about stuff, right? This is kind of a major thing, but it's not like huge, but it is pretty big. And wanted to make it on my show because I figure I'll document it on this for prosperity for as long as YouTube and Facebook are in existence. Um, it'll be on this platform. Maybe it'll be into space somewhere, and in a million years, somebody will find this and be like, "Who is this guy?" Well, my name is John, and I'm about to make an announcement that we've been planning for a while. And you know, you during the pandemic, we reached a lot of different. I think a lot of people did, right? They just kind of were reevaluating their lives and kind of just taking stock in what they were trying to do and what they wanted to get done. Um, and I know I did. I know during the pandemic, you know, I remember sitting at home with my wife, and I had a little video production company where we did some videos for local businesses and some politicians and stuff like that, and was having a lot of fun, and it was growing. We had just started it basically. You know, it was a year that we started it when the pandemic hit. And then our studio that we had here in Bayonne became basically a storage facility, and it was useless. We couldn't use it. We couldn't bring people in there, and obviously things got a little bit worse and scarier. So people weren't coming in. Nobody was doing anything, and I closed up shop, as they say. Brought everything to my house. Took over the living room basically, and said I'm going to just start doing a show. And during the shows, I was interviewing so many guests. You know, I was from all over the place, from different parts of entertainment, from business, and I started realizing that there's so much more that I wanted to do that I haven't really pushed towards, you know. And it was no blame on anyone or anything. It was all my responsibility, as I like to take responsibility for everything that happens to me at every time, at every second, right? Um, to some degree, I put myself in the position, right? I believe in that. And so I was under this bit of a pressure of trying to figure out, well, now I'm really up against the wall because now we're in this pandemic situation, and now the things that I realized I just haven't been going towards. Now I don't know if, I mean, at the time we didn't really know what was going on. Pretty scary stuff during the beginning of this situation. um and we weren't sure exactly, I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do or how I was going to get any of this stuff done. So I decided, I talked to my wife, and decided we have been planning on moving for a long time. And um and we talked about Florida. We had talked a lot about Florida, and we have a lot of friends from our church down in Florida. It's the biggest location for the church, the biggest area on the planet actually, is in Florida. Um, and we just thought, well, maybe we'll go down there. But then I'm thinking, well, what am I going to do down there as far as what I do, you know? And some people would say, people who live down there, there's a lot to do down here, you know. I get it. I'm not going against that. And then we looked at briefly. We looked at Texas. Texas seems very in in tune with what with my values and what I believe in, and but then I thought that's way too far out there, and it's also, it's just not really. Basically, it was just too far. I wanted to be a little bit closer to the east. So, anyway, without further ado, my family and I on July 12th will be moving to Nashville, and that's my big announcement. July 12th, we are moving to Nashville, Tennessee. We already have an apartment there that we were thinking of buying, because the buying a house there is a lot more affordable, and you get way more for your money than you get anywhere else, um, that I know of. New York, New Jersey, and so on. Um, Even Florida right now. And we were thinking of buying, but then we weren't sure what areas. There's about three or four different areas that we were looking at as far as moving into. One of them was Murfreesboro, Spring Hill, Antioch. Another one was um, Hermitage, Mount Julia. It's all these really great, beautiful places, which are basically about 15 minutes from Nashville, downtown Nashville, or maybe 30 minutes, depending on where you are in these places. But we chose Hermitage to rent in for a year. We took a year lease in Hermitage, and we're gonna buy shortly after that, or maybe during that time that we're there. We're gonna be, obviously, houses are they go very quick. Even rentals, we learned that the hard way. We lost two places originally, and this last place we had to move quick, and it was just like so. We moved very, very quickly, but we did get it, and we're very excited. It's a really nice. It's one of those complexes. We were looking for houses at first to rent a house, because you can rent a house there for the amount, for cheaper than you can rent an apartment here in and even in Bayonne. So we were looking for a house, but then we lost one house because of some dumb management stuff. It just we just lost it. It was not our. I wouldn't say it was our fault, because, like I said, I always take responsibility for everything to a certain degree, but it happened. Then we lost another place, and that was just because somebody had. I don't remember why we didn't get that one. But this one place that we got, we decided, you know what, let's just go with the complexes. So it's one of those places that has a pool, tennis courts. It has two pools actually. It has the clubhouse. It's got the full gym. It's got all this stuff, and the rent is amazing in comparison to what we're paying now. Incredible. Um, and it has a little balcony, and it's a really nice, beautiful place and we're close to a lot of things. We're about my daughter is going to be going to a school that's about 4 minutes away. Um, my wife's school is 20 minutes away. Downtown Nashville is 15 minutes away. Our church is about 15 minutes, because our church is right in the middle of downtown Nashville. And where else? I guess that's it. It's close to a lake. We're literally, I think we're 5 minutes away from a lake. Again, this is all driving. Everything is driving there. And yes, I do drive, in case anybody is wondering. um, I'll be driving. I like looking around. I'm a big observer of life. So driving has not always been like the greatest thing for me, but I did the driving thing, and even took some lessons here in Bayonne. Was driving around one of those cars. I was like, hope nobody sees me. But I used to drive a lot in New York, so when I was younger, actually, much younger. And but yeah, so we're gonna, we have already a car person that's gonna get us a car when we get there. We're arriving on July 12th. July 12th is gonna be we're gonna land. We're gonna go straight to a hotel so we can rest a little bit. It's a long commute. We're also taking a cat with us, so that's going to be a whole other thing. It's an expense too. If you're moving with a pet, just remember the ticket for the pet costs more than our tickets for for like our kids and ourselves. Um, Plus the monthly, we got to pay monthly fee for the cat as well. So anyway, we love her. She's fantastic. So we'll do it. But just so you know, for anybody who's moving, who's thinking of moving, you got to put that into account. Put that into the mix, as they say. Um, oh, thank you very much, Patty. Thank you so much. Bayonne will miss you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Mwah. I'm gonna miss Bayonne. You know, Bayonne. I'm gonna talk about Bayonne in a minute. Um, but yeah, we land on the 20. I mean, on the 12th of July, which is in about 23 days, and we um, we go into a hotel. We're gonna be there for a day only. We were thinking maybe 2 days, so we're not really sure yet. We can extend it, so we might actually extend it another day and move into our place on the 14th. Our furniture and all our stuff are arriving around that time. Also, we're shipping it ahead of time. They leave on the. It's gonna be it's gonna be a rough 2 weeks because we're gonna move with shipping everything on the 6th of July, and then that's gonna leave us with no furniture for about 7 days with nothing basically. So we're gonna have sleeping bags, and we're gonna make do for the time that we're here. And then when we arrive, hopefully our stuff will arrive close to when we get there, but maybe a couple of days of more sleeping bags over there. So, but we'll see. I mean, it's I've told the kids and my wife, I've already prepared them mentally. I said, listen, for the next month and a half, really, because it's 23 days and then another 2 weeks of just getting adjusted. It's going to be a little chaotic, I should say. And it's going to be an adventure, but we're gonna pull together and we're gonna get through this, and we're gonna have a better situation. There's a park literally just right outside our door for the kids. Um, just a great opportunity for the kids. Also, I think the school systems over there are good as well, and I'm excited about that. So, hey, Ethan, how are you, man? Thank you so much. The 7 a.m. Club. Yes, right. It's not a bad name for a morning show. I got to change. So when I moved to Nashville, I have to this 7 a.m. show. It's an hour difference, so it'll be 6 a.m. And I'm certainly not going to get up at 6 a.m. to do the show. It's hard enough to get up at this time sometimes to do these shows. Generally, I have to get up anyway because I got to make food for my wife, her breakfast, and her lunch for her to take with her. So I have to get up early anyway. So it's not a big deal. So I might do something. I'll see what the time is, and then whatever the time is, if it's 7:30 a.m., if it's 8 a.m., whatever it is, I'll name the show something. I like the 7 a.m. club or maybe the AM club. So maybe Ethan, I'll use that name and give you credit for that. Send you a fee. um, but so Nashville is going to be a change for me. Um, Born and raised in the South Bronx, and moved into Manhattan when I was about 24 years old, um, and lived in Manhattan till I got married. Then we moved to Sunnyside, Queens, and I lived in Sunnyside, Queens for 7 years. I lived in Sunnyside, Queens, and after we had our daughter, we realized we had a tiny little apartment, and we were paying a lot. So we moved here, paying about $300 less in Bayonne than we did when we moved. That what we were paying in Queens, and a lot of space for Brianna, our daughter, to run around in. And then our son was born in 2016, and so we definitely have room for him to run around, and he's running around a lot. We're having a lovely, lovely time with these kids. Um, so for me, it's going to be a little bit of a change. I'm a East Coast guy. I've always lived in the East Coast. Um, I don't know any other way of living. Going down south is a very different change for me. Although people say down south, and it is south, but it's not as south as people think. Um, Nashville is also Music City, which is I know it's popular for country music, but not just country. as I've been researching and talking to friends that I have down there, a lot of musician friends that I have down there, as well as some film stuff. I've been talking to them, and it's not as country music and country and yeehaw kind of a what people think it is. I mean, there is that obviously, which I love. As you can tell, I've been wearing this hat for well before I even knew I was going to go to Nashville. Also, I'm a big fan of country music, believe it or not. My mom got me into country music by way of Kenny Rogers, who back in the '80s had a crossover from country music to pop music, and that kind of stuck me into country music and to Kenny Rogers and all those other guys that I followed. So I've always been into country music. Not really a lot of people have been, so I really don't. There really isn't a lot of. I've written a few country songs, um, and so I'll be dusting those off. Anybody want to hear a country song I wrote in 1995? Um, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. It's a different thing for me, but I think it's time that I shake things up a little bit. I've been a little bit too comfortable in Bayonne, and just talking about Bayonne, just want to mention Bayonne. Bayonne has been just fantastic to us. We came here and we met some people right away that really embraced us into the community. Not everybody, but a majority of the people that I met here welcomed me and my family, and really helped us get along. And we've met a ton of wonderful people, lifelong friends that I'll have forever. Patty is here. She's in our office, and she's awesome, and very always been very kind, and you know, to me and my family. And Ben Costanza, who really was one of the the first people that I met here, that kind of took me around and introduced me to the mayor and to all these people that I was I was like, wow, this is so cool. Neil Carroll, who's a councilman for the first ward, very awesome young man, great future for Bayonne, definitely, and always will have my support. And I've even said I'll come back and do any campaigning that needs to be done for Neil and our mayor. Mayor Jimmy Davis has been extremely kind to me and my family, and very very nice, and has done a good job here in Bayonne, and always has my support. Um, who else? I mean, so many people that I've met. I can't really name everybody because it's in the hundreds, but it's been a wonderful, wonderful ride here in Bayonne. I still have the I Love Bayonne page, which has well over 2,500 members. Heading to 3,000 really soon, and where a lot of great information gets put on there, a lot of events that are happening, a lot of positivity, because we don't allow any negativity on the page. So that's been a wonderful connection for me for the city. And I'm on I Love Bayonne page right now, actually on this show live. So everybody out there, mwah, I love you all. And I'm not really going anywhere as far as the I Love Bayonne page, because I'm still an administrator. I will be putting some people on. Look at my shoulder. My green screen is acting up. I will be actually putting some people on that will help me kind of put events on there I'm not aware of anymore, or but anybody can share stuff on there if you have events going on. The page has grown really nicely, and there's also a lot of engaged people, which is what's really different from what I say is really different. Just knowing social media and understanding how the analytics and the numbers work. A lot of pages that are Bayonne, they'll that are have may have thousands of members, but engagement is very low. We have a tremendous engagement on our page. It's like from the 2,500, we have about 1,500, 14 to 1,500 that are always engaged on the page. That's a huge number of people that are consistently searching on the page and looking on it and view it and see it. That's a really big number. I think in part because I do this show every morning, Monday to Fridays, on that page. So I think people get a little bit of information from there. But it's also just a lot of people posting their businesses, grand openings, anything that the mayor has to say about the current situation in town with the coronavirus, and anything that's really happening, any weather stuff that's going on, any traffic news, anything that's happening in town gets put onto this page, and it's a great source. So I'm very invested in Bayonne, New Jersey, and I've always have been. Um, on a fully transparent note, I wish that I had been able to do more here, to work more in the city and more have a different position in the city. But I was always independent, and it's fine. I like being independent anyway, but I was always willing to do more. Um, and it's a difficult town sometimes to 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 there's a sometimes there's a little bit of a conflict for stuff, but overall everyone has always been very courteous to one another even when they disagree. And I thought that was a really great it's a great town for me to have been in, and I've been here 9 years. It was it flew by, to be honest with you. 9 years. In those 9 years, we had a son. um, I did some political stuff here. I was a committee member for a little while. I did a lot of political stuff here, and went against a lot of things here. Also, lost some friends, unfortunately, due to that. But not just in Bayonne, everywhere actually, which is totally fine. I'm totally cool with that, because everyone that remained was fantastic, and I love you all for hanging out and staying with me. So I have a lot invested in Bayonne, and I'm also keeping my real estate license in Bayonne. I'm also a realtor here in Bayonne. I get a lot of people messaging me about real estate, so I don't want to lose being able to service them. So I will be still involved in helping people in Bayonne, via internet, but I'll have also people on the ground here that I've already agreed to be partners with me on that. People that I choose are always top of the line. I don't like to mess around with people that that are just not going to service people and high, with the highest level of service. But I definitely am going to be back to Bayonne and visiting. And like I said, I still have family in New York as well. My sister lives in New York, so I'll be coming back. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to be spending some time talking about Nashville, and I'm going to be talking about showing some photos of where we're going to be living, and showing some things about what I'm going to be doing. Some of the organizations that I've already joined in the arts, I'm going to be talking about them, and some of the people that I've met there that I'm going to be connecting with. Tremendous amount of activity happening there already, and I haven't landed yet. And I'm going to be talking about that this week. And yeah, that's it for me today. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for listening to my big announcement. But yeah, Nashville, here we come. Bayonne, I love you. Thank you for everything that you've done for me. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. I love you all. And I'm certainly not going too far. It's a 13-hour drive. So if anybody wants to go to Nashville to visit me, you're more than welcome. I have space for all of you. And in a year, I'm going to have a much bigger house. So it'll be even better. So, but thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day. Make today great. Do the things that you love. Take care of yourselves. And as always, peace.